contemplative path is that it's really not for the faint of heart. Like, we have to realize how desperate we are for God to embark on the path. Because as I was giving myself to contemplative practice, for me, I mean, my whole world was crumbling. My worldview, it felt as if I had no place to stand. I mean, my house of sand really was crumbling, and I didn't know what would be there to catch me. And so as I'm going through that kind of psychologically and spiritually, contemplative practice really helped me stay with what is and not run and not hide and not freak out, but stay in it, even as the sand is shifting under my feet. And then in that whole process, I was being able to be with what is happening. I could let go of my mind's craving to have it all figured out, which is nothing more than human nature, human will that struggles to let go and let God be in my life and at work in my life according to God's will and God's design. And so being able to let go of that made the unknowing process more bearable. And through contemplative prayer, there's just a great comfort that happens in the midst of the unknowing and the undoing.
Your spirit speaks, it moves in me, and I'm awakened to your love. You're drawing me onto my knees, and I'm astounded by your love, 'cause you spoke life into my lungs. You are the air I breathe, you are the air I breathe, still you move inside of me. You are the song I sing, you are the song I sing, yeah, yeah.
It was 25 years ago with the birth of my youngest daughter. I got one picture of an aspect of contemplation. When we brought Juliana home from the hospital, which is fairly common, she was jaundiced, which an elevated level of bilirubin in her blood that her tiny liver wasn't able to break down, and the suggestion was very simple phototherapy, that we keep her there in the sunlight with just a diaper on, and we would move her around the living room, keeping her in the sunlight, and the sunlight was able to enable that toxin to be broken down that her liver couldn't do. That's part of what contemplation is about. It is about exposing ourselves to the love of God, where this toxin of sin, these elements in our life, are able to be broken down, that are inaccessible to our willpower.
I believe Christ wants to form my heart, and he doesn't do that with a to-do list. He does that when I unconditionally give him the space to work on my heart. And that's what silence is for me.
And so much of it is a running away from silence, the silence of our hearts, the silence of our souls. The scary part of silence is seeing yourself in terms of not being busy. Is what's there? If I take away the pieces of my busyness, do I have left just a shell that if I'm not performing this or working at that, and I am stripped of that in silence with myself, is there actually anything there?
Jesus wasn't quiet though, right? He was like turning stuff over and like
I love that story about he turned stuff over, and I relied on it for a long time. I love kicking at things. However, there are these annoying verses that I kept coming across. They were annoying for me because I'm sort of like, I like to kick at things. That talked about Jesus slipping away to quiet places.
Just kidding.
All right.
Jesus at the center of it all. Jesus at the center of it all. From beginning to the end, it will always be, it's always been you, Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus at the center of it all. Jesus at the center of it all. From beginning to the end, it will always be, it's always been you, Jesus. Jesus, nothing else matters. Nothing in this world will do. Jesus, you're the center. Everything revolves around you. Jesus, you. Jesus at the center of my life. Jesus at the center center of my life. From beginning to the end, it will always be, it's always been you, Jesus. Jesus, nothing else matters. Nothing in this world will do. Jesus, you're the center. Everything revolves around you. Jesus, you. From my heart to the heavens, Jesus be the center. It's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. From my heart to the heavens, Jesus be the center. It's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. From my heart to the heavens, Jesus be the center. It's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. From my heart to the heavens, Jesus be the center. It's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. Jesus be the center of your church. Jesus be the center of your church. That every knee will bow and every tongue shall confess you, Jesus. Jesus, 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 nothing else matters. Nothing in this world will do. Jesus, you're the center. Everything revolves around you. Jesus, you. Nothing else matters. Nothing in this world will do. Jesus, you're the center. Everything revolves around you. Jesus, you. Nothing else matters. Nothing in this world will do. Jesus, you're the center. Everything revolves around you. Jesus, you.
Okay.
And a brilliant part of centering prayer is that it said what it's really about is your intention. Many quiet forms of prayer, the focus is going to be on your attention, upon your concentration, upon your focus. And it becomes a bit of a human achievement. For centering prayer, the word is your intention to be before God. We consent to God's presence and action. And I think that in the writings, I think that's one of the things that Keating did so well to emphasize, is that what really counts is not that you have focus. What really counts is that you intend to be present and vulnerable before God. And when you become aware of thoughts, you ever so gently return to the prayer word. You don't scold yourself. Father Keating at a retreat, a sister had come up and said, Father Keating, I am such a failure. I suspect my thoughts wandered 20,000 times in that time of prayer. And he with a smile said, 20,000 times to return to God. And so that's what you do. You just repeat the word again without any negative admonition. You just come and say, here it is.
When our faith journey is only about like a particular belief and not about a lived experience, then when life doesn't go my way or relationships don't go my way, I only have access to the teaching that tells me I ought to love you. You're my enemy, but I ought to love you. You've hurt me, but I ought to love you. You've betrayed me, but I ought to love you. I don't really like you, but I ought to love you. It's all this function of the mind and a belief system trying to apply that to life. But through contemplative prayer, we can access really this ability to flow with love. So it really isn't like I have to like get all worked up to try and apply a principle of love here, but it's no, I'm connected to the source of love, and I don't have to think about it. I can just open to it and let it flow through me in relationship with this person and with my own self when I am actually hurting and grieving and troubled or whatever. I can open to that love, let it heal me, and let it flow through me in relationship to the other.